Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna be showing you how to play this graveyard quick cycle deck. Actually, this deck, sorry. In how to play this deck against, lightning, as I said in the title, and I have some decent lightning matches against pretty decent players, so I'm very excited to share with you my gameplays. So, first lightning matchup I have is indeed this golem match. I have total three, two golems, one e-giant. So all of these three matchups are, what people will call hard counters. I saw my friend Yak out struggling against lightning, so I just want to provide tips that what I do against a heavier lightning beatdown type of deck. So this guy cycles lumberjack in the back. I'm thinking either it's balloon, like lumberloon, or it's e-golem, right? But then in the back of my head, I was like, maybe it's golem, but and then I saw berserker, so I was like, okay, maybe this is some sort of weird amalgamation. And then I was like, okay, wizard. I was like, okay, I think this is lumberloon, but a weird deck, because a lot of mid-ladder players just play random lumberloon decks. And then I saw the mini P.E.K.K.A, and at this point I knew it was golem. Okay, and I do a great protection on my furnace, and I'm able to keep it alive, so that's always great. And look how much damage I'm up already at this point. Look how much I'm an elixir, I mean. Like, look, I have a furnace on the field and he doesn't have anything, and I actually have higher elixir than him, so he has to burn an E-Wizard, and I think it's all about getting good elixir trades. I feel like when he put down the furnace in the first place, I feel like some of you guys would have actually poisoned it, and I used to would have done that too, but I'm a changed person, I guess you could say. I don't know. I used to be able to overcommit and poison there, but I realized I could just cycle my furnace, get to the Evo, save elixir, and yeah, I don't know. This time I poisoned the furnace just to take it out faster, and you see my furnace is full health, and it gets so much damage. And yeah, I get some 2 fire spirit splashes on top of the E-barbs, always very good. And yeah, I get a really cheap defense on top of the E-barbs. You guys can see, with this quick cycle deck, you're able to get really cheap elixir defenses, so you're able to build up a big a big elixir lead. So I go Valk, and I'm a little confused at what he's playing right now, but then he goes golem in the back, so you guys can see I'm actually gonna go graveyard with this, so he cannot lightning my furnace and hut, because if he does, his tower is gone. But it looks like he was just contemplating about lightning in the first place, so I don't know. He should have either taken the damage, ate the damage, and just lightninged it, or he needs to choose. You can't be stuck contemplating what to do, right? That's the worst thing you could do, right? So anyway, I get a really nice evil Valk here, and it gets the job done. Perfect defense. But you guys can see, by going into it with that graveyard, I think pressuring opposite lane was one of the key reasons why that golem push wasn't as scary, even if he had lightning, right? I prevented him from going lightning on top of my, whatchamacallit? I prevented him going lightning on top of my hut because I went in the opposite lane. So, this time, I don't know, this time I know he has lightning now, but I got really lucky that the evil first didn't die. Honestly, that was really lucky, so. I don't think he burns a ton of elixir, but we're pretty much even now. I know he is really low on elixir, so I just bar barrel. And yeah, I double barrel roll into the tower in hopes to get more damage. The E-Wiz does die to the furnace, so that's great. Fire Spirit also splashes. At this point, I know it's just really just a matter of when to poison and whatnot. Okay, he does go golem, and I knew he lost at this point because I can just go in. There's no way he defends. He doesn't have elixir. He just spent a elixir. And that's good game. Essentially, what I think you guys need to understand is when they go golem opposite lane, I really like to go opposite lane pressure. And I don't know. I like to cycle my furnaces. And instead of cycling poisons, cycling furnaces is way better because you get to the Evo, and the Evo is just so strong. So I think that's a key takeaway, I would say. Here we have a more meta golem deck. I've seen a lot of people playing this deck, a lot of people complaining about this deck online. So let's see how I deal with this. Name's Walter White. I was like, okay, this guy's either gonna be like good at the game or just playing some bullshit. He does play Valk. I play a Valk on my own just to counter it. Cycle to my Evo. It's just all good. He opts to go with the Baby Dragon in the back, and at this point, I didn't know he has Fireball because here's the thing: I saw the Valk, right, and I instantly thought, I don't know why, but I thought of Lava Hound, and I saw the Baby Dragon. I really thought Lava Hound, so I thought it was Lava Hound, and then I saw the Dark Prince. And I was like, what is this deck? Because I haven't played this game in a while, so I don't really know, like, you know, all the meta decks. But I see the Ice Wizard, and then I knew, I thought it was, I knew it was Golem, like, especially like with the mini P.E.K.K.A he just played. Like, I knew it was Golem by now. Like, I was like, oh, okay, it's probably Golem Lightning too because he doesn't have the Zappies. I haven't seen the Zappies yet, so if he doesn't have Zappies, he's most likely running Lightning, right? So I go with the early Hut just to see if he has a Lightning, and he actually does. So there we go. I mean, I don't know if that was the best Lightning, but I just really wanted to confirm if he had Lightning or not. So I not even accidentally, but I gave him Lightning value essentially, but we're still even on Elixir. I knew I was up, okay? Guys, I knew I was up. That's why I threw away my Hut for no reason, because I actually knew I was up. Like, you guys can not believe me if you don't want to, but I knew I was up. I sniped the Baby Dragon. Like, how do I say this? I knew he was going to go something in the back at 10, and I knew we were pretty similar on Elixir, so I thought if I just went in the second that we both hit 10, I knew he was going to play something, and he played the Baby Dragon, and as you guys can see, I get a really cheap defense on everything. At this point, I am down quite a bit, but we just enter double Elixir, and as you guys can see, I have an Evo Furnace running down the lane, so that's always great. The mini P.E.K.K.A is essentially dead. My entire push did a shit ton of damage, and without me, you guys are going to see, it's really just defense the entire game, and with me not getting that damage from the early lead, or not the early lead, from the start, I really wouldn't have won, honestly. So it really, I don't know, that was a really nice time to go in. I mean, you guys saw it. That's what won me the game. Anyway, this is really sketchy right now, but I get a really late Evo Valk. And yeah, it's just sketchy. I can't lie. I'm not saying that defense was like perfect, but we get the job done. I mean, I really just went Valk Graveyard at the bridge. I would assume he has like some sort of like, you know, counter push, but at this point I do know he has Lightning. I'm afraid he's gonna Lightning cycle me. This game really comes down to the wire, I can't lie. I really regret going Graveyard with this, because obviously he blocks me. I didn't think he was gonna block me, I can't lie. Sounds crazy, but I didn't really think he was gonna block me, but I barely get any damage from my Graveyard because he blocks me. At least he burns a bunch of Elixir, so that's good. I was really hoping the Barber would tank for the Baby Dragon, but it didn't, so the first wave of Spirit Golems did die. And at this point, he does go with his Golem. Guys, make sure you do not let them Lightning both the Furnace and... He misses the NATO, and honestly, NATO was really weird for me, because typically you don't really play NATO with, when you have Lightning, but it is what it is. He does take the Lightning on my Furnace, which I think he had Lightning the wrong thing. If I was him, I would have Lightning the Hut. Sadly, the Dark Prince does get a hit off my, Hut, and that really gets him the Golemite damage. We really shouldn't have gotten that without the Dark Prince. So, I just keep going in. I don't know. I get another Valk down. I'm cycling Valks like crazy. That's just the name of the game. I get a poison on the floor just to do more DPS to everything. Didn't really need it, honestly, but it helped, I guess, sort of. I get another, Hut down. Get another poison. I knew at this point he was going to Lightning me one more time, and I really didn't want him to get any sort of damage. He does take the Lightning, you guys can see. And I was really scared about that Golemite, because the Golemite low-key scared me a lot. But in the end, we take the W, and that's really all that matters, right? I really just defended all the time. And the only damage I got was that from that initial push, and yeah, pretty good. The last game I have is against E-Giant, and I think E-Giant is just really annoying, honestly. You guys all know. But you guys can observe, I mean, it really just depends on how much you overcommit in single, and if you don't overcommit, you usually win, so it's always nice there. Let's see here. At first I thought he was playing recruits, right? So I went Valkyrie in the front. I really thought he was playing recruits until I saw the bowler, and at this point I was like, oh, he's playing E-Giant. And I mean, E-Giant is I always think it's a bad matchup, but I always see E-Giant players like selling, right? Like on paper it feels like such a bad matchup, but I always think like I have a good chance of beating E-Giant all the time. It's always like I overcommit, right? So you guys will see me try my best. He does go with his little eye drag, and I think that was a really bad eye drag because it's just feeding my furnace. You guys can see the eye drag is essentially dead. I'll just go Valk in the back, I believe. Oh no. Wow. I completely forgot about this, but this is actually what won me the game. I go opposite lane, so he can't really get a really good, you know, push with his E-Giant, and essentially all it takes is one Goblin Hut, and the whole E-Giant is the whole push is gone. And yeah. You know, something funny is actually, do you see how that graveyard and the Valk and the graveyard the Valk didn't take for the graveyard? Had I put the Valk taking for the graveyard, I wouldn't have gotten that much damage because of the nature of Golden Knight. I didn't mean to do it. I actually did by accident by not putting the Valk to tank for the graveyard. But because the Golden Knight basically killed all the skeletons, the Valk got most of the damage on his tower. And because it got most of the damage on his tower, right? Like, having a full health Valk was much more better than having like a half health Valk. And the only reason I was able to get a full health Valk was because the graveyard skeletons were actually tanking for the Valk. So that's really interesting interaction, honestly. Like, maybe it's method to that, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I think you should still tank for the graveyard for the Valk, but it's just funny how that worked out, right? Anyway, he tries to finesse me with this stupid little goblin like cage, and he doesn't really work, so it's always nice. I go Valk just to DPS down the E-Giant. Go Ice Spirit just to freeze that, I believe. Yep. And pretty much it's the same thing over and over again. I tank for the bowler. We start spawning a bunch of Spear Goblins. Okay. Thank goodness I didn't let that Golden Knight dash. Do not always block the Golden Knight dash, guys. It's so important. It's so important. Anyway, this freaking Emo Inferno Dragon is like really like annoying. But yeah, I actually mess up and don't play the hut in a place where it can pull the E-Giant, so I had to use a little Valkyrie. I take a shit ton of damage, but Emo Valk plus Ice Fury does the trick pretty well, I can't lie. Yeah, nice Furnace down, just a DPS down the Golden Knight. I knew he was gonna dash, that's why I played Valk down. So you guys can see, just look at the damage on the left side though. Like I just did crazy damage. I'm up 2,000 damage. I knew I basically won. He goes E-Giant the bridge, and I know at this point, like, yeah, he's really desperate. He's gonna try to get a lightning down. Obviously, he doesn't get the lightning because I spaced it out enough. You guys already know the E-Giant's getting DPS down very fast. It still gets 800 damage because it's E-Giant. It's broken, but it is what it is. I think at this point I'm just about to go in soon because I know I won. Look at the tower damage. And yeah, at this point I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's done. He opts the lightning. He didn't lightning my hut. Honestly, if lightning my hut, it would have been bad, but at the same time, would it have been really that bad? I had Evil Valk, so I wasn't the most scared. And I just go in. I knew at this point he was just spamming everything on the bridge. He had nothing to defend, and yeah, that's a good game. So that's 3 matches with Lightning, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, that's how I beat Lightning in relatively high trophy range. I mean, it is UC. Right now, I'm currently sitting at 1924, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely higher than a lot of you guys. So I hope you guys can learn something from my videos, and without further ado, see you in the next one.